Hi, in this video I'm going to reveal 4 common mistakes that ITF Taekwondo instructors make when naming a technique. I say instructors because when students make the mistake, it's often because of what they've heard from their instructor. So it's important that the instructor knows how to name techniques properly so that the students can learn properly, and if the student does make a mistake, at least the instructor will know how to correct them. But how do we know what is the correct name for a technique? Well, simple. We just use the Taekwon-Do Encyclopedia as reference, the one written by our father and founder of Taekwondo, General Choi Hong Hi. So here are the 4 common mistakes. Mistake number 1, using terminology, whether English or Korean, that is different to the one indicated in the Taekwondo Encyclopedia. For example, axe kick. You will not see axe kick written anywhere in the Taekwondo Encyclopedia. And usually instructors use that word to refer to either a pig-shaped kick, gokai ni chagi, or a downward kick, neryo chagi. So those terms should be used instead. Another is roundhouse kick. This is a karate term. In Taekwondo, we use the term turning kick, dolyo chagi. Another is hook kick, when it should be hooking kick. But even then, when instructors say hooking kick, very often what they mean is reverse hooking kick, because hooking kick, golcho chagi, is a blocking technique, and very often they use the word hooking kick to mean reverse hooking kick, which is an attacking technique, banda dolyo goro chagi. Some instructors commonly use incorrect terms for parts of the hand. For example, hammer fist, when it should be side fist, yopjumok, or ridge hand, when it should be reverse knife hand, sonko-dong, or palm heel, when it should be open fist, pyeongjumok. I sometimes hear instructors talk about jumping techniques, such as jumping kicks. If you look in the Taekwondo Encyclopedia, all such techniques are referred to as flying techniques, twimyo chagi, for example. So we should use that terminology. I've had students asking me, what's the difference between flying kicks and jumping kicks? That confusion was caused by using 2 different names. That's why it's important to just use one name, and we should use the one in the Taekwondo Encyclopedia, flying techniques. Common mistake number 2, using the word section for naming a technique. For example, high section punch or middle section block. There's no need to use the word section because it's not written in the Taekwondo Encyclopedia like that. You just refer to it as high punch or middle block, for example. The word section is to refer to 3 parts of the body. High section, middle section, low section. This represents target areas. Now, when you're doing a high punch, for example, it doesn't mean you're aiming for the high section. It depends on the height of the opponent or the height of the attacker. You could be doing a high punch to the middle section or aiming for the low section if you're sitting down, for example. So just use the word high punch, napunde jurugi, middle punch, konde jurugi, or low punch, najunde jurugi. Now with blocks, it does make more sense to use the word section because when you do a middle block, for example, you are protecting the middle section. But there's no need to use the word section because that's implicit already. And if you look at the Korean terminology, kaunde maki, the word section is not there. So when we translate in English, it should be the same. Just call it a middle block. So you have high block, napunde maki, middle block, kaunde maki, and low block, najunde maki. Common mistake number 3, putting words in the incorrect order. For example, middle inner forearm block. The convention in the Taekwondo Encyclopedia is that you should always put the tool before the height and then finally the name of the technique. So instead of saying middle inner forearm block, it should be inner forearm middle block. An palmo kaunde maki. Now it can be confusing sometimes because certain tools have special names to describe the orientation of the tool. For example, flat fingertip, open sonka, straight fingertip, son sonka, upset fingertip, dwijibun sonka. So the extra word is to describe the orientation of the tool, but it's still part of the name of the tool, so that should come first. So don't get confused and think this is a flat thrust or this is a straight thrust using the fingertip. It's not. it's a thrust using the flat fingertip or the straight fingertip or the upset fingertip. Now, when naming a technique, you also sometimes need to consider whether it's obverse, reverse, or inward, outward. Now, the way you position those words is important, and I will be making a video to describe that in more detail. Common mistake number 4, not shortening the word soggy when including the stance in the name of the technique. When you name a technique and you include the stance comes first. So for example, walking stance, front punch. Now, walking stance is gunnen sogi. So when you're talking about a walking stance on its own, use the word gunnen sogi. The word sogi is in full. But when you include the name of the technique after the stance, the word sogi should be changed to so. It's shortened to the word so. So when you talk about walking stance front punch, it should be gunnen so abjurugi. The terminology I spoke about in this video is for ITF Taekwondo. So if you're doing WTF Taekwondo, the terminology may be different. But if you're a student of ITF Taekwondo and you hear your instructor making one of the mistakes that I mentioned today, you can point it out to them, but always do it in a courteous way and be very humble. Now, a good instructor will have humility, so if they realize they're making a mistake, they will correct it. And they should thank you for pointing it out. But they'll probably still give you 20 push-ups for being too smart. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. See you next time.